Hey, what's up? You're listening to Music Posting. I'm Alex.
And I'm Astrid, and this week we are reviewing the new Faye Webster album, Underdressed at the Symphony, which came out March 1st, a fresh one, hot off the press. A
Hot off the press.
singer-songwriter album that comes out after a couple critically acclaimed albums I've heard, Atlanta Millionaires Club in 2019, and I Know I'm Funny, Haha in 2021. I've never listened to Faye Webster before. Alex is putting me to work with these new artists and albums.
Yeah.
What is your experience with Faye, though, Alex?
So I started listening to Faye Webster, I want to say in 2020 or
Mm,
2019. I think well, okay. So when Atlanta Millionaires Club came out, I started listening to that one. And then I went back and listened to the self titled Faye Webster album from 2017.
mm.
Um, And I did check out I Know I'm Funny, Haha. And, so I was looking forward to Underdressed at the Symphony, especially because for whatever reason, Faye Webster has started blowing up on TikTok, especially.
That doesn't
Um,
surprise me, to be honest.
yeah, a couple of her songs. Um, I think also she's just a really interesting singer-songwriter. She incorporates, like, a lot of country and soft rock and indie, but she also derives a lot of inspiration, from Atlanta rappers and Atlanta R&B artists.
Mm,
And I think that that can sometimes come across in her lyrics, but also, in her, collaborative choices and also her creative choices. Um, so on the, I think on I think Atlanta Millionaires Club. Let me double check this. Um, yes, on Atlanta Millionaires Club in 2019, she collaborated with Father, who is a rapper, um, R&B artist. I'm not too familiar with his stuff, but he did do like a rap verse in the song.
mm,
And it was kind of left field, but it worked and
that's fun.
it was cool to listen to. Um, in this album, she collaborated with Lil Yachty, which
I did
a
see
lot
that, yeah. He
yeah,
sings on a song.
he does. He sings on Lego Ring, which I think a lot of people were surprised by. I wasn't really surprised by because I knew she had previously worked with rappers. Um, and she also incorporates some auto-tune on this song with, like, the song, "Feeling Good Today,"
Right.
which a lot of people were a bit put off by, or they were like, "I don't understand why she did this," but to me, it just makes, like, logical sense given her influences and who she's worked with in the past.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting. That song didn't stick out to me as anything that weird, but I guess that's because this was my first listening to Faye Webster, so anything I got here was this is my first impression, right?
yeah.
So, I just thought that was something that maybe Faye Webster did sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, maybe some of the newer listeners of Faye Webster, um, they're more familiar with her like kind of indie rock pop uh bedroom soft rock sound and
Mm.
we're maybe not expecting something like that. So I could see why someone would be put off, but to me it felt right at home and it felt like a logical step. Um Not to gush about Faye Webster too much, but I also really like how grounded her lyrics are.
Mm.
Her lyrics are very just plain,
Yeah.
not in like a disparaging way, but in the sense that they're very like understated, um, and that makes them very down to earth and like relatable in a way.
Mm.
She uh, she doesn't have this like grandiose persona. She comes off as like a very humble, um, girl next door type singer-songwriter.
I would agree with that, yeah. Just to preface this, because I'm going to have, some negative opinions here. This is probably, like, my one of the albums that I've maybe, like, my least favorite that we've enjoyed or that we reviewed. And that really sucks because I try to come at these with more of a positive angle because I think Alex and I don't wanna be, like, just, like, shitting on things, every week. I don't think that it's bad, okay? So when I give critique, I just wanna preface that if someone enjoys this, that's great. And there were moments that were nice. It wasn't like a total slop fest for me. I had a good time, but there was a couple songs here that just I don't know what it was. It just destroyed my brain.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair that, you have that opinion and you're super welcome to share that because ultimately this is a forum for both of us to just kind of chat in
Yeah.
a nice, comfortable place. My opinion might sometimes differ from yours.
Yeah,
Not not
probably.
not that I don't think this is like a mind-blowing album. It's not like the best album I've ever heard, but I mean overall I would say I enjoyed it. So I'm really curious to hear where we're going to like digress on this album here, to be honest.
Yeah, but I am too. I just wanted to preface that for anyone listening, um, don't be offended or get upset. I'm not. In fact, I want to listen to older Faye
I'm so
Webster.
upset.
I want to
Ah!
listen. I want to
How
listen to
could
old.
you?
I want to listen to old Faye Webster because, like what you're saying, and what other people say, and is that those older albums, those past few albums, are like pretty good. And so I
Yeah.
think that I do want to go and listen to them, and I have a feeling I probably will enjoy them more than I enjoyed this album. And so just take my shit with a grain of salt. I've never listened to Faye Webster. This was just how I felt while I listened to it. And yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have you been listening to any other music this week, Alex? In our
Well,
new
yeah.
segment, what we've been listening to?
What we've been listening to, our segment. I've been listening to Cello Concerto in D minor.
What?
Slash it's by Lalo.
Oh.
Yeah. Um performed by performed by Maria Kleigel on cello, Bernd Glemser on piano, Nicholas Esterhazy, Symphonia, and Michael Halaz.
So you've been on some classical music shit.
Yeah, you could put it that way.
That's great.
I just, sometimes you just got to. Other than that, it's been like a relatively quiet week for me. I have still been listening to Quadeca. I revisited some Wiley Hopkins.
Mm.
Um and I can confidently recommend Wiley Hopkins. Um what else? It's been a bit of a quiet week for me and
Yeah.
on the listening front. I've mostly been in the stew working on this new project.
Oh, that's exciting.
Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I've been listening to like a lot of like mixes like I normally do. Like, I've been listening to my breakcore mixes and but I've also been listening to just like some chill stuff while I fall asleep. One album that I had like on heavy rotation this week was the album by Bygones, which is it's a math rock two-piece by Zach Hill from Death Grips and Hella Fame, as well as Nick Reinhardt, who also has done guitar for Death Grips. So it's really good. It's a lot like Hella. If anyone's ever listened to Hella, it's like that, but a little more a little more modern. And yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I like math rock. It like gets the brain tingles going. So that was
Yeah.
like the main thing I've been listening to this week.
You know what thought I just had?
What?
I might be insane for this, but you know the classic Nokia ringtone, like the is that just
Yeah.
math rock?
I guess everything could be math rock if you really think about it.
But like, could it actually just be math rock?
Probably if you just put some crazy drums over it.
Yeah, like a really weird like compound time signature.
Yeah.
That'd be
Dude, I
so
used to
fun.
have a Nokia with that ringtone. I'm so nostalgic for those old Nokia bricks, man.
Me too. I remember going to the phone store not too and, the lady there was, like, talking about the Nokia brick and was like this was me choosing out my first phone. She was like, "Oh, yeah, I used to have one of these, and, like, I dropped it from a Ferris wheel, and,
Yeah.
like, it survived." And I was like,
Dude,
"Yeah.
it's no joke. I would throw mine, and this is before I even knew about it, like the mythos of it. I
Yeah.
would throw mine across a field, like, I would show my friends. I'd be like, "Watch this, my phone will not break," and I would chuck it, like, across a football field length,
Yeah.
and, like, they would be like, "No way," and I would go and pick it up and be like, "Look, it looks exactly the same." Like, it has a little grass mark on it, but, you know, it
Yeah.
was those things were military grade.
We need one of those.
Yeah, we
We
gotta go
in
back.
today's day and age, everything just It just breaks.
I mean, they're already starting. Not to get too much on a tangent, we can get to Faye Webster, but
Yeah,
they're already
yeah, yeah.
starting to like go down that path. Like, there's now like flip phones that are touchscreen. I
Are
don't know
they
if you've seen those.
indestructible? I have, yeah, but
Well,
do
they're
they
not
break easy or?
indestructible, but I'm saying like that's like akin to like flip phones from the early 2000s. Like, there is some nostalgia for like a flip phone or like an old ass BlackBerry or some shit. So they're kind of capitalizing on that nostalgia now.
Yeah,
Maybe we will get the Nokia brick
now that
again.
Gen Z is getting older and has more buying power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I can't remember. There are a few things that feel better than like opening a flip phone with just your thumb in like
Oh
one
yeah.
fluid motion.
Oh yeah. You can
Like,
do it on these new ones. It's pretty
oh man,
wild.
yeah. Phew.
Anyway,
Anyways,
ooh, off topic. Faye Webster,
Faye
first song,
Webster,
"Thinking About You."
thinking about you. Which, when I heard the title, I immediately thought of Frank Ocean's "Thinking
I
About
thought you were
You."
gonna say that you thought about me.
No, I was like, I was thinking about Frank Ocean. But yeah, this is like a cute track here that has like a really tamed beat with a soft snare. Faye Webster's very soft vocals coming in. And there's like this very soft bass. Everything is very soft and close mic'd. And
Yeah.
it kind of sounds very comforting, especially with this like very soft piano.
Yeah, it has a nice smooth intro, the guitar is relaxing. I think Faye Webster's, like, vocal inflections are, like, very interesting. I've never really, like,
Mhm.
heard that before. I kinda think it's cool. Um, just like I don't even know how to describe it, like the abowie owie, like it's just like it's like pronouncing vowels like incorrectly. I don't know
I think
what
maybe that's just like her Atlanta accent, or
just an accent.
do they
Yeah,
have accents in Georgia? I mean, I'm sure they do,
there's
right?
a southern accent.
Yeah, I'm sure
Um,
maybe she just sings with, like, a Southern accent or something.
that's fun to listen to. I actually kind of like that. So I'm not hating. But I do think like the song kind of like dragged on for a while, and this isn't like the like worst offender on the album of doing that, because I think
Mhm.
like the songs do that a lot. But the outro, like the end of this song, like for a good portion of the song, is just like her saying like I'm thinking about you like over and over again. And I
Yeah.
guess for me, like my brain like just shuts off. Like while I was listening to this, I literally like zoned out and like I was just doing random tasks and forgot I was supposed to be listening and digesting the track, because it's just like
So
not really like a lot for me to like I guess think about or uh whatever. But it's not like bad, like it's something that's like nice in the background. You could drink red wine to it, eat some cheese on a platter in a candlelit bubble bath or something listening to this. It's pretty nice, but it's just like it didn't really give me like a lot to chew on. Like it's just like the same thing over and over again. My brain like just gets annoyed and like zones out.
I hear that. I think, when I got to the second part of the song, I also had a similar thought. I was like, "Oh, this is, like, going on for a while. I wonder how long the song is." And then I checked, and it said it was 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And it really does repeat like that. "I'm thinking about you, thinking about you, I'm thinking about you." Um But, like you said, I think it's just very good for the background. It's still very, like, soft and envelops you in, like, a blanket of sound. I think the purpose of this is to just be, like, more of a meditative kinda, like, throw it on while you're cooking something,
Yeah,
or
I
just,
mean, and
like,
that's fair.
yeah. Well, also, I think I'm still trying to digest the themes of the album, but, I mean, Underdressed at the Symphony gives me this very, like, minimal type of vibe, and,
That's true.
all the instrumentals in this, album are very minimal and very understated, kinda like being underdressed at the symphony. Um, and I almost wonder if this, like, very repetitive and simple lyricism was kind of, uh trying to capture that
Purposeful.
sort of understated. Yeah, purposeful, yeah. I wonder if I think it was intentional on her part, and if it doesn't click with you, it doesn't click with you. I think my first listen, it didn't really click with me, but, I mean, I was just driving home today in the car, or, like, I was walking to Subway to get a sandwich, as one does. I don't know why I had to. Anyways, um, yeah, and then I was just like walking and completely spacing out,
Yeah.
and I think maybe that's what she was trying to go for. I think it's kind of meta though, right? Like the I'm thinking about you.
Mm.
Like when you have those thoughts of thinking about someone, they're constantly on your mind. And so she repeats like the vast majority of the lyrics here are I'm thinking about you, thinking about you. There's like
Yeah.
literally maybe 4 lines that aren't that.
Yeah, and, like, you might be right that it is, like, this purposeful sort of like, purposefully minimalist, and that does sort of play into the, the title of the album and sort of,
Yeah.
like, the nakedness of, the instrumentals throughout and her vocals and, the lyrics. I just think that this becomes essentially like a motif on the album, like her sort of repeating, the same line over and over again at the end of the song. There's, like, a
Yeah.
many songs in here that do that, and there's other ones that I actually think are, like, really annoying. This one isn't, like, horrible, but it's just, like, I respect it because there's a lot of lyricism in some future songs here about, the pressure of fame and, uh, people psychoanalyzing you, when they don't know you or like, there's a
Yeah.
lyric later we'll get to about, like, a neighbor, like, already knowing the name of her dog, like, when she moved in. Like, that kinda stuff, like, I can imagine she feels a lot of pressure and just wants to kinda make something more laid back and strip back, and so I
Yeah.
respect that. There's just some moments that even though it's, stripped back and minimalist, it's, like, just a little annoying for me to listen to, but it's not every
Yeah.
song.
I think that's totally fair. Yeah. I mean, do you want to move into but not kiss?
Yeah, and this song is actually, like, my favorite song on the album. I really
I
like
like
this
this one a
song.
lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the "Yeah, yeah," where the whole song, like, stops and, like, follows her vocals and then returns back to the groove. I just think that's, like, really strong. It's, like, very dynamic, really fun, and the keys are, like,
Yeah.
very huge, very vibrant. She'll sing and, like, it'll be, like, really, like, there'll be nothing there, like, not much of an instrumental, and then the keys come in really loud on, like, her next
Yeah.
line, and, it's just very dynamic and very fun. It has a very playful feel to it, and the song feels, like, very alive as opposed to
Mhm.
some of the other songs which maybe don't feel as alive to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Instrumentally speaking, this is also one of my favorites.
Yeah.
When this one came on, I pretty much instantly saved it to my like songs,
Yeah.
um, which is when I know I really like a song from an album,
Mm.
because I might not revisit an album, but a few songs for sure. Um, I totally hear you with like the very minimal bass that's like do 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 while
Mhm.
she's singing in this like very sweet soft tone, and then the next line and then like the piano crashes in, it's like ba-da-da-ba.
Yeah, I
It's
love
like this
that.
very like dissonant piano too.
Mhm.
um I thought that was cool. It's super dynamic and everything. I also really like the lyrics. Like I think she does a good job of capturing some of the ambivalence that come
Mm.
with romantic feelings. Like so check these out. I want to sleep in your arms but not kiss. I long for your touch but don't miss. Um or I want to see you in my dreams but then forget. We're meant to be but not yet. You're all that
Mhm.
I have but can't get. And then I hope you're okay but I won't ask. If you're in a good I won't mess with that. But I'm here when you need, I always have. So I definitely appreciate lyrics that kind of have like a two sides to the same coin mentality.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, to me, I just appreciate the depth that can come from that kind of songwriting. Like you can interpret it as like a very romantic song, or it's like, that classic breakup trope of like, I wish you the best, but I don't want to hear about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty mature lyricism, I would say, and I think it's pretty effective. I'm very interested in this one, just musically, I think it's the best song on the album, and
Yeah.
it has a nice taper to the end of the track that doesn't overstay its welcome, which I can't say about all of these other tracks necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I think also the whole "yeah, yeah" is
It's
so
really it's
it's really fun.
infectious. It's
Yeah.
infectious. That's like
Like, if
that's
I
like the best. I don't know. Would you call that a hook? It's just like the best
I would
best
call it a
sound on the
hook.
album. Yeah, it's like the
I would
best
call it
hook
a
on the
hook, yeah.
album, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
I think it's pretty fun. Do you wanna move into "Wanna Quit All the Time"?
Yeah, wanna quit all the time.
The
What did
song
you think
was
about this?
it was very relatable. I think this is where Faye Webster shines is, just like she has a knack for tapping into, I think, what everyone feels on some level, but has difficulty expressing, and she
Mhm.
does it in, her songwriting is very, like, sincere and to the point. I really like this verse. "I wanna quit all the time, I think about it all the time. It's the intention that freaks me out. Overthinking in my head again. I'm good at making shit negative. Right now, I hate the color of my house."
Yeah, that's like the most relatable verse ever.
Right. It's like, like, I'm sure everyone can relate to just, like, being in a negative mood, and it's like, "God, I hate my stupid fucking car and my like, I hate the color of my walls. My shoes are so annoying. This fabric is annoying me. I hate everything."
Yeah, well, to me, it, like, kinda reminds me of, like, my OCD kinda tendencies, which is just, like or sort of, like, just, even just sort of like my ADHD in a way, because like, you're just, like, overthinking, like, everything in your head, and then you, like, randomly hyper focus on, like, the color of your house, and you're like, "I hate the color of my house. I need to get new paint." And, like, like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of lyrics on here, like, there's a later song, uh, about eBay purchases, where she kinda talks a lot about how she's really sick of, the attention that she's receiving, like the fame, which,
Yeah.
is maybe why she's stripping back, to more of a basic mood on this album. But, um and she's talking about how she's, like, kinda focusing on random things, like, just, like, making things or, just right here, like, hating the color of her house, and I don't know, it's kinda relatable, like, the attention online or in, for real celebrities or whatever, like, is a lot, for really anyone to handle. And, so I can imagine just feeling like, you just wanna quit all the time, if you're
Yeah.
in that field. And yeah, I actually really like the lyrics here. This is maybe some of the better lyrics on the album.
Yeah. Or even this relatable bar. "I used to be self-conscious. Well, really, I still am. I'm just
Yeah.
better at figuring out why."
Yeah, yeah. That's all.
I
I think anyone can relate.
Yeah. I honestly view Faye Webster's writing as like just having a chat with your big sister or like your aunt, you
Mm.
know?
It has
Um,
a nice feel to it. It does feel very real. It feels very authentic.
yeah, that's kind of what I really like about Faye Webster is the writing is very authentic. And it's like, you can tell when someone is like trying so hard to
Mhm.
use like impressive language, but Faye Webster just comes across as being very confident in her own writing because
Mhm.
she doesn't use, super fancy words. I think there's even a line in the album later where she's
Yeah, there
like,
is, yeah.
yeah, we'll get into that, but she's like, I looked up a word and I thought I would use it or something. I'm sure it'll come up later
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we pull up the lyrics, but um, instrumentally, this one was pretty low key. Um, I liked the percussion. I'm a sucker for a good rim, as I've said before. Um, I think it has this really beautiful slide guitar that's just kinda going off in the background, like, her country influence really shines here, um, and there's really beautiful keys. It's like a very nocturnal song.
I can imagine that. It has, like, an island vibe to me. Like, it
Yeah,
sounds honestly, maybe, yeah, kicking back, on the beach with the stars out is maybe the
yeah,
vibe it's given.
yeah, exactly.
Drinking a martini at the tiki bar or something. That's how
Yeah,
I
I could
feel.
see that too, yeah, or just, like, closing in on, like, someone that you spot at, like, a bar,
Yeah.
like, at a resort or something. I also love the "uh-huh" hook, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'll figure it out, uh-huh."
Yeah, it's
Um,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, this is, one of the better songs in the album. It's an introspective song, and the musically, like, it sounds introspective too. I just feel like it all kinda clicks, and, yeah, the little guitar section towards the end of the song is pretty nice too.
yeah, absolutely. Do you wanna talk about Lego Ring?
Lego Ring. This is a really, like, cool name for a song, you know?
Yeah, what do you think a Lego ring is?
I was gonna ask you the same thing, but my sort of interpretation is that it's, like, symbolism for, like, just kind of a fucked up temporary ring. Just something that just, it's temporary, like, she doesn't really know what she wants, and that's
Hmm,
sort of a reoccurring theme, like, in the lyrics is especially like in terms of relationships. Uh, she doesn't really know what she wants. So maybe it's sort of just this temporary Lego ring. We're just going through it right now. Just something. We need something there just to feel human, I don't know. But what do you
Yeah.
think Lego ring means?
I think it is I think it's like a wedding band or like an engagement ring, and, like, maybe the Lego is like, a diamond sometimes has that, like, rocky, blocky look to it,
Mm.
and I'm wondering if that's what she means. Like, I want a Lego ring, but then also, like you said, maybe, like, a more temporary thing, like, maybe it's not completely, solid, it's, like, built out of plastic pieces.
Yeah, I was imagining like a literal Lego ring, like a wedding ring, you put on your finger, and the idea is like, you don't take it off. And like
Right.
a lot of people like their wedding rings get fucking stuck like on their finger, and they have to, if they need to get it removed, they have to like, go to a fucking doctor or like lube it up.
Yeah.
But a Lego ring, you could take that apart pretty easily. So that's what I was just thinking, like maybe she wants something more sort of
Right.
temporary, or she's kind of confused or
Yeah, like
whatever.
commitment, but with like an escape clause.
Right, and
Yeah.
I mean, she also says, like, right after "I want a Lego ring," she says, like, "I want it to hurt my finger." So there's so, I mean, I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe, she just wants some temporary just to feel something, she just wants to feel
Yeah.
something. Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
that in this album too. I think there's even, like, a lyric on a later song that's literally basically just says, like, "I wanna feel something."
Yeah, I feel that actually. I think in the same way that some people, they might, like, want to, like, bite their partners or something. That's, like, a very real thing, like, you
Yeah.
know? So, I definitely, I definitely feel that. Um, Instrumentally, I think it's pretty fun. There's, like, this distorted guitar that drives the beat, and then these pianos that come in for, like, a boom, boom. And then it, like, transitions into this very woozy, psychedelic, slide guitar-y part with Lil Yachty auto crooning in the background.
Yeah.
Um, and then later on, he ends up doing, like, his own verse where he sings while he's auto crooning, but I think instrumentally, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think the Little Yachty is pretty good on this track for the most part, at least
Yeah,
earlier in the song. Um, I like how it really like the song really like slows down, like turns into sludge, like in the refrain. Like you
yeah,
feel like super baked. Um, and she sounds, kind of confused about like what she needs, which is kind of akin to what I was saying about the Lego ring. Um, and it's mostly pretty good. I do think, like, the lyrics towards the end of the song are, like, kinda there's a lyric, the outro by Lil Yachty,
yeah.
where he says, "Always together like string beans."
I think it's cute.
I wish I could meet you there. I don't know, I don't wanna be a hater, but I laughed at that line, that's all I'm saying, I laughed at it, and,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I don't think it's supposed to be serious or anything, but
yeah,
I
I
think
know,
it's
and
kinda
and
cute.
you're convincing me a little bit because I kinda see how this album is supposed to be, minimal now, because I think that is sort of the vibe, but it's also just I'm just not feeling like there's a lot to chew on at the same time. Like, the thing with minimalism is, like, you still want it to be effective when it's minimal, and
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes the lyricism or instrumentation or whatever, uh, can feel a little vapid, and so I sort of felt that there in this song, in some parts, but I think the Lego ring is like a cool idea. I do just
yeah.
imagine like a big just elementary colors, just Lego ring, blue, red, and yellow, just some fucked up looking thing. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, well, the music video is also very fun. It's Faye Webster and Lil Yachty on the couch playing Guitar Hero, but it's like
Oh, that's
Animal
sick.
Crossing Guitar Hero.
Oh,
And
that's
there's, like,
awesome.
a lot of cool colors. I have seen a lot of criticism of this line. Like, people are like, "This is the worst line I've heard in my life," but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's
I don't
kinda
think it's
cute.
I don't think it's the
And
worst line I've ever heard.
yeah,
It's just
didn't MGMT teach us anything to, like, with the bubblegum dog is gonna catch up to you. Like, you can't be afraid to enjoy the fun, like, stuff every once in a while. Um, yeah, I don't know. I actually do have some interesting side lore about
But yeah,
Lil
let's hear it.
Yachty and Faye
Let's hear it.
Webster. So, apparently, they have been friends since middle school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, then that
which is
music video makes sense.
yeah, and it's also partly why, Faye Webster is so intertwined with the, Atlanta scene.
Interesting. That's really cool then. I mean, it's cool that they're doing a little duet song here. I think for the most part it's a decent song. Like the sort
Yeah,
of this middle of the album, I wasn't hating on it too much. Like these sort of
yeah,
middle songs are where I think some of the best of the crop are. So yeah,
yeah.
this one's all right. Just kind of some funny lyrics.
No, that's totally fair. Speaking of middle songs, we transition into "Feeling Good Today," which,
Yeah.
I think is Faye Webster catching some of the auto-tune disease from Lil Yachty. I say disease endearingly because I'm kind of a fan of, auto-tune, but
Yeah.
this is just a very, very, very minimal guitar that is, like, plucking away and, like, muting, and then it's Faye Webster singing in harmonies, auto-tuned, and, I actually really like these lyrics. Can I just read them to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I like
I'm
them
feeling
too.
yeah, I'm feeling good today. I ate before noon. I think that's pretty good for me. I'm gonna see my brother. He's got a new girl, but he's good at making time for me. I might open my doors. I got a exterminator, so it doesn't matter if bugs come in.
I like that
That way
line.
my dog goes outside. My neighbor knows his name. Thought that was weird, but I'm over it. I got paid yesterday. I'll probably buy something dumb because I am pretty childish, but all my friends are the same. Just find us something to do, find a new hobby just to ditch it.
Yeah, the lyrics here are great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best part. I personally I found the vocals to be like kind of annoying, like and repetitive here, but like the actual what she's saying is like we've been talking this whole time, very like relatable and down to earth. Like
Yeah.
I especially feel the line like that way my dog goes outside, my neighbors know his name. Thought that was weird, but I'm over it. Like that's that's a thought that I would have. Like that'd be pretty freaky to me if my neighbors like who I would
Yeah.
probably like Faye like never speak to. It'd
Yeah.
be pretty weird if they knew my pet's name. I'd be like, "What the fuck? Like
It
you are
would be a
nosy.
little weird.
You are
Yeah.
nosy." And I relate with the I got paid yesterday. I'll probably buy something dumb. I think you and I are both known for a little retail therapy. You taught me the the term retail therapy.
Yeah, I've been getting a bit better with it, but you know
Yeah,
what?
same.
I am pretty childish. I do like to buy dumb things once in a while.
Sometimes a sparkly trinket is what you need.
Yeah, just to keep going to make life worth it. I really like, I got a exterminator, like, not an exterminator, and, like,
Yeah.
the way she sings it, "I got a exterminator."
Yeah, yeah.
Um
Well, it kind of plays into the childish line, right? It's like she's just kind of having fun, not really taking it too seriously.
Yeah, no, exactly, which I definitely appreciate, and I think as a I suspect this is, like, a metaphor for, like, I've got a partner now, but
Mm,
she's just, like, playfully calling the partner an exterminator.
mm,
So she's, like, chilling. She's good, basically.
yeah. Well, she's
Yeah.
got has all of her like monetary needs met. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yeah.
she's set in that way, and she's had success, and so she probably does feel a bit of relief in that way, but feels sort of maybe socially ostracized. Is sort of the vibe I'm getting through a lot of these lyrics.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think, like, the "I got an exterminator" line is kinda funny. Like, cause she coulda said, like, "I have, like, a chef," you know, or something, like, or "I have, like, someone who mows my lawn," but it's like, "I
Yeah,
got an exterminator."
an
So it's
exterminator.
more of, like, a neurotic pick, you know? It's like, I have money now, but I'm spending that money on an exterminator. I'm making sure yeah,
Hmm,
I don't know, it's just, it's an interesting line. The lyrics are pretty
that
cool
makes
here.
sense, yeah, that makes sense. I definitely feel that. Um, yeah, do you wanna talk about Lifetime? Which I have a feeling you probably didn't like.
Why do you think that?
Could it be because she repeats, "in a lifetime," like, maybe
14 times?
14 times? Yeah.
I counted, yeah. Yeah, that was mildly annoying. I will say, I really like the cover for this song. I think it's really funny.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I don't
it's
know if it's
her
unintentional.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like, it's her almost, like, face after, but, yeah, she's probably wearing, like, makeup,
yeah.
but it's her, like, old as fuck, like, in the car, and she's, like, looking
Yeah.
forward with this, like, really hilarious deadpan face, and I think it's so funny because you can tell that it's not very serious. Like, it almost looks like she's gonna, like, break laughter.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
she's
hard for
still
her to
giving
hold.
the 1,000-yard
Yeah,
stare.
but she's giving a
Yeah,
1,000 yards stare. So it's very, like, it just feels very authentic, and, I
yeah.
mean, it looks like she just, like, dropped her ice cream on the ground, you know?
Yeah, I
She's like,
like the
"Oh,
cover
fuck,"
too.
but then she's, like, about to laugh about it because it's just
I
ice
like
cream.
this too, I like this too.
Yeah, musically, like, this one wasn't really doing, like, anything for me. Uh, like, lyrically, it's, like, really it's, like, nothing, but I guess that's kind of the point. Like, it's, probably just about kinda getting old and going through different people or going through different events and then she says just in a lifetime, and you really feel like you're aging. Like, I felt like I was aging as she repeats in a lifetime, and she's just saying, I think she loves the word time. I think she loves the word
Yeah,
time.
yeah, time is a theme of this album, that's for sure.
But yeah, this one,
I
I will just honestly, it felt like torture, and I don't wanna talk about it anymore because I feel like such a dick. So please tell me, like, what you liked about it.
Okay, yeah, I feel like the lyrics here are deceptively simple.
Mhm.
Um, so I think this is very much like the ethos of Underdressed at the Symphony because it's such a minimal instrumental. We've got this very chill, like, acoustic guitar, um, this very chill rim. We've got these very, very relaxed, like, tones. It's got this very low-key tone kinda thing, um, and the lyrics are also simple, so, "Can't imagine me before you in a lifetime." Uh, when I said it, I mean it, didn't really mean it in a lifetime. Every minute you are in a lifetime, in a lifetime. No conversation, I get you verbatim in a lifetime. And then we repeat that like a whole bunch of times. Um, I think she's kind of getting a bit meta with it once again. The reason she's repeating in a lifetime so much is to really emphasize like just how long this lifetime. Like
Mhm.
she's really trying to evoke a sense of like time passing, like the passage of time.
Yeah.
She's also trying to, I think, highlight the like how deeply this emotional dependency on this partner goes.
Mhm.
Um, it's more about like how she says it, and she says it with like so much longing and sings it with longing, and she like really hangs on those words. And then, like then we get into the lyrics like can't imagine me before you. You can take that a couple of ways like oh, like you kind of made me the person I am, but it could also be like I can't imagine me before I imagine you as in I put all your needs before my own.
Mhm.
So she's once again kind of straddling like the ambivalence of like what a romantic relationship can be, especially when you're dependent. Like you
Mhm.
can definitely interpret this in like a codependent kind of way where it's like, oh, uh, you made me who I am and I'm so grateful for that, but I'm also putting all your needs before mine because I'm so desperate for us to stay together in a lifetime. Or like no conversation, I get you verbatim. It could mean like we don't even need to have conversation for me to understand you because we understand each other on that deep level and I have been with you for so long and I am still longing for you. But it could also mean like they have the same conversations over and over and over again.
Mhm.
Um because they're encountering the same problems over and over and over again. So I think that despite these lyrics being very simple, there's a lot that you can like draw from them to like
Mhm.
introspect on your own situations or what have you. So
Yeah.
I really like this song and I was like not to cut you off. I'm
No, you're
almost
all
done
good.
here. Um I was like when I got back to my office from getting my Subway sandwich, I was
As you do.
as one does. I was just like alone in the office, like, giving a similar thousand-yard stare, listening to this and eating my sandwich alone,
That
and,
sounds
like
really sad.
Yeah, but you know what? It was like a meditative experience at
Yeah.
that point. It was just like at that point, I was like, "Huh, I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm just thinking.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking."
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, conceptually, I see everything you're saying here. I think
Yeah.
conceptually, I get it. It's just, what I'm actually hearing in my ears is not enjoyable for me, and that's
Oh,
just
that's fair.
yeah, it's just that's just how it is. It's like I get the concept, and I think that it's a cool concept, but maybe I would have wanted it executed in a different way. But, it's not my least favorite song on the album.
Could that potentially be the next song on the album, "He Loves Me, Yeah"?
No, but I'm not crazy about this one. But yeah,
"My
let's go into
baby
"He Loves
loves
Me,"
me,
yeah.
yeah, he loves me, yeah.
Yeah,
He
you
actually told me, yeah, he told me that.
yeah,
We
you were
got
singing
our
that
own house and we sleep upstairs. We take a walk and then he brushed my hair."
I mean, do you see do you see, like, the way you're singing it even, like, it's just Alex was singing this before we started recording, and I
It's
and I started
catchy. It's good.
it's like a bad earworm, though. It's like
Me,
the
yeah,
deep
he
beep
loves me,
bop beep bop
yeah. No,
beep
I like
ah.
it. I think it's catchy. I think it's catchy.
It's
She's just
it's
trying to have fun.
I know, and, I do get that, like, it is
Yeah.
fun, and it's romanticizing the very simple, fun feeling of love, just being in a happy, dopey relationship and just like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it's
this is
like
fuck yeah, this is good."
yeah, like, even just, like, doing mundane stuff is just fun. Like, you just,
Right.
like yeah, like, "And we drink water straight out from the tap. He owes me money, but I let it pass." That's, like, the essence of love, in my opinion. It's like, you're not even keeping
Working through your
score of things.
differences, yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Just
keeping
living life.
score of things, you're just living life, you're having fun, enjoying the simple things. It's the little things, you know?
Yeah, so again, conceptually, I'm down for this, and I think, the lyrics are cute and fun, and the song isn't taking itself too seriously, so I'm not gonna sit here and, like, lambaste, whatever. I'm
Lam
not gonna
lampoon?
I'm not gonna, drop a lamp on this thing like an anvil. It is fun, but that sort of earworm that you were singing, like, is kind of annoying to me. But maybe it's just that I honestly am just, in general, kind of an impatient person, and, I have TikTok brain. I need, like, a constant feed of, like, insane slop to feel satisfied, so there's probably a bit of that, but it's not the worst song, like I said, it is fun. I respect it for being fun.
Yeah.
I think it's, like, maybe the most fun song on the album.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a low-key song.
Yeah,
We have some, guitars once again that kinda drive the beat. We've got like a guitar cha-cha-cha with like a three-strum, stab, I guess,
yeah.
and, we've got this, like, cool, effect that goes on when she says "yeah" or "that," or she's, like, emphasizing the last word with, like, this cool, I don't even know what it is, like a synth of some kind,
Mm,
um, but it just sounds very pleasing on the ear, and the guitar or the drums do pick up, and, we got some more energy, um I think, this song really, helped me appreciate the band that is playing with her as well. I feel like there's so much space instrumentally for each instrument to shine
mm.
because the instrumentals are more minimal, but at the same time, it doesn't feel not like it's full. Like, everyone still has, like, room to shine, and, like, you can appreciate the technical talent of the band.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, this song, like, instrumentally is pretty good, and a lot of these are very, they're very tight, they feel good, and, yeah, like, I think, like, the essence of this album is that it's not for me necessarily, or it's maybe sort of too stripped back for me to really grip onto a lot of what is being sort of displayed vocally, but if it was on, like, I'm not gonna be, like, sitting there like, "Ah," like, I'm not gonna, like, be, like,
Yeah.
freaking out. It's just, like, it would be nice to have on in the background, so
Yeah.
but but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Um, This next one is called eBay Purchase History. I
Great song title.
I love the song title. I This instrumental reminds me of like an Animal Crossing PM, like 8 p.m. and onwards song.
Yeah,
I might be hallucinating this, but I'm pretty sure Faye Webster has a video on YouTube of her playing Animal Crossing with one of the features she did. Hold on, let me look
that's
at it.
cute.
Let me I need to see if I'm making this up.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Uh yeah, I might have just been hallucinating it. I'm not sure. But I could have sworn I feel like there's just some connection here. Maybe this came to me in a dream. Wait, no. Hold on. She has covered Animal Crossing KK Slider songs
Oh, that's awesome. That's really
at
cool.
festivals or concerts. So, I felt like there was an Animal Crossing connection here, and now I have confirmation. This is amazing.
Yeah, I really like the song title here. Like, no complaints on the fun song titles, and the lyrics here I really like too. I think the first verse is like pretty relatable to me.
Mhm.
She started talking about how she's able to buy little things, but she's also like talking about how like she feels like she's very gifted at being able to just like build and paint and like create.
Mhm.
Um, but then there's no one there for her to play. You know what I mean? And then when like basically what the essence I'm getting here is like lack of social skills, but very creative, and that's how I feel about myself. So it's like I really like the line like, and I'm looking at you talk like, okay, your eyes are so pretty, by the way. Like you don't even know what to say. You're kind of in your own world. And like always, like I'm always bored and I'm never satisfied. That's kind of like akin to the lyrics before in the previous song, kind of talking about kind of like going through hobbies, churning through things, and not really finding anything that's like necessarily sticking too much. But then obviously there's still thoughts of like emotional longing here, which has been a theme as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Very longing kind of album.
yeah, she just seems kind of like bored, like kind of incomplete. And I also like really like the line about visualizing her old apartment and like almost
Yeah.
feeling like she can smell it. I can do that with places that are, like, really important to me, like old houses or, like, old environments, and it's actually really fun if you can do that to just, like, sit back and just, like, really visualize, like, a environment that was really important to you. Like, it does almost kinda feel like you can smell it. It's just, like,
Yeah.
a really interesting thing about our memory, you know what I mean?
I think, smell is so closely tied to memory. I can't
Yeah.
remember the reason why, but I think it's because our olfactory bulb is just very big and it I think I can't remember the tie, I don't wanna spread medical misinformation, but there is a very close link between memory and smell.
Mhm.
And, I pretty much echo everything you were saying about the lyrics. Um, I really like the instrumental here, like,
Yeah.
I love the little, like, bell or whatever it is that comes in, like, it chimes in the background every once in a while, and then, we get some interesting percussion with, like, um I don't remember what this instrument is called, but it's like this handheld thing that has ridges in it, and you go over it with a stick, and it makes
Oh,
this,
yeah.
it's like scraping noise.
I think I know what you're
Um,
talking about.
yeah, I just unfortunately don't remember the name. Um, yeah, and I really like the, the actual composition of the guitar. Um, I think it's a very soothing song, I just like it a lot. Very
Yeah, yeah,
nocturnal.
it's nice. It's one of the better songs on the album, and, yeah, it feels like a slice of life track to me. It
Yeah,
feels like something almost in like an anime. So I kinda see like the Animal Crossing connection that you're making. Like, it does kinda feel like that. It
yeah,
feels like just a yeah, just a slice of life just kicking back, kind of around the house kinda mood. And yeah,
exactly.
you wanna head over to Underdressed the Symphony, the title track.
The title track,
What did
yes.
you think about this?
I liked it as well. I thought, the instrumental, once again, more laid back, more chill, but very cool slide guitars and a very pleasant sounding guitar. Um, I, really like the lyrics as well. I think there's some interesting stuff here, kind of related to longing, but also, struggling to move on from something, like,
Mm.
I know you haven't told your mother yet because she invited me over again. Like, there's always that awkward stage in like a breakup where it's like you haven't told the other person's parents.
Yeah.
So they just have no idea. And in a way, it's like, when you can't move on, you're just like you always put that off. Um,
Right.
but I think Faye Webster loses her mask a bit here, and she kind of reveals some more personal feelings she's going through with like, I'm depriving myself of happiness, something I'm really good at. I want to see you
Yeah.
again. See, this is why I'm confusing, which is this whole album has been like caked in ambivalence and like confusion. A symphony, you got to dress up for the symphony, but you're underdressed. It's like, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Spending money just to feel something, at least go broke or let me heal from something. And I'm wearing no clothes. I'm not the silhouette. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, it's sort of, like, all building up from these, previous songs and sort of kinda letting it all out. Like, to me, it makes sense that this is the title track because it sort of feels like the main character moment.
Yeah.
Like, specifically when she literally says the, line, "I'm underdressed at the symphony," and you hear
Yeah.
the symphony sounds after it.
The
It
symphony sounds were so beautiful.
Yeah, and that felt like honestly, the standout moment on the entire album. It almost feels like that moment was made, like she made this song in the stew, and then she was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, let me make a whole album around this because that shit was cool." And, like, that
Right.
shit was cool. Like,
It was really cool.
that felt like I said, like, it feels like a main character moment, like, this is the main character of the album to
Yeah, it was
me.
very very
Um,
left field, but in the best way.
yeah, it has these very, like, drowned out sounds, the instrumental, it's slow and inquisitive, and you feel like acid, like, you just feel like melting. And,
Yeah,
she's just talking about, like, really just wanting to feel something and probably in the midst of, like, a post, breakup, like you're talking about, but she just wants to feel something. That's why she's talking about, like, buying random shit on eBay or, just
yeah,
building things, but not really talking to people. Like, she wants to feel something because she's just, maybe, like,
yeah.
kinda broken and confused and deprived of joy. So, yeah, I like that this song is, like, not ambivalent, It's very, like, raw and to the point, and, I actually kind of like the chorus at the end, like, asking, like, "Are you doing all the same things?
I
I
like
doubt
that
it,"
too.
Like, really
I
just, like,
remember that too.
it's just you're wondering, what the other person is doing because you still have some amount of longing, and it's, like, hard, so, yeah, like, this is a pretty good song.
Faye Webster has so many potent breakup songs on every album, there's just one breakup song that will absolutely destroy you. So on the self-titled from 2017, she has Remember When. Um, do you wanna hear, like, a couple of these verses?
Yeah, sure.
I remember when you were talking about flying me out, I remember how it was easy to pick me out of a crowd, but I guess I just remember when. I remember when you were happy just to walk me to my car. I remember every song you wrote me and how it touched my heart, but I guess I just remember when.
Mm, yeah,
Damn. I
sad.
remember when you told your brother and the way it made you feel. I remember telling my brothers, I think this thing is real, but I guess I just remember when. So that one is devastating. And then on Atlanta Millionaires Club, I think. There's right side of my neck, which is it has, like, this really infectious hook, which is like, "The right side of my neck still smells like you." Um, yeah, she is just very good at, delivering, like, a devastating breakup song.
Yeah. Yeah, so, this is, like, a highlight on the album for sure for me.
Yes. Do you wanna move on to Time?
Yeah, this is the song that I was talking about that I hate. I hate this song. I think this is the most annoying song on the
So,
album.
I have one pet peeve with this song. My
Yeah?
my one of the few gripes I have with this album, I counted out the t t t t t time. The
Uh-huh.
amount of time she says t t t t t like in the t t t t t time does
Yeah.
not correspond to the amount of T's in the song title. It's so if you were to go off
Oh,
of the
yeah.
title, it would be t t t t time, but she goes t t t t t t
To
t time.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the first chorus where she goes, "I got t time." I'm like,
yeah,
"Okay, cool. That's a neat idea." Like, that's fun. And then she says it again, and I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then she says it again. And then she says it again. And then there's another chorus where she says that again. And then the end of the song is hers doing that over and over again. And I'm sorry, but it's just really annoying to my brain. I'm not trying to be a hater, but like I can't listen to this song.
Creator.
I'm being a hater. I am not trying to be, but I
It's
am.
on aisle 5.
I just it hurts my brain. I can't listen to it. It feels like an MK Ultra trigger. Like my brain just goes into paralysis.
Time.
It's if I mean, and I get it. I understand it's probably a similar conceptual thing that we've been talking about,
Yeah,
like
like, I
dragging
feel
it
like
out.
you're trying to drag out the time, like, to really
Yeah,
convey how much time and the sense of idleness and what have you.
right. Like I get that. It's just like musically, it just is not hitting in any way. So I don't have anything else to say about this song. I leave the floor to you.
Okay, yeah, I like the piano. It's like, you there's been a lot of, like, chords on this album, and I feel like here, there's more of, like, a broken chord type situation, and the slide guitar sounds great. Once again, bringing in, like, a cool, like, rim. There's this flute on the time part
Mhm.
that it like everything strikes and like the drums strike with the stutter of the time, which I think is just a neat touch. It's thoughtful in my opinion, but I mean it is definitely again, once again, low key, very like background music kind of energy. Um yeah, I don't have too much else to say about it. I think the song is fairly straightforward in its messaging. You
Yeah.
know, I woke up naturally, I forgot what I dreamed, I don't know what to do, I'm alone, but what's new? I got time. So,
Yeah.
overall, thoughts on the album?
Yeah, so I mean, I can't in good conscience say that I enjoyed it because I think there were more than 2 songs that, like, actively annoyed me, which sucks because, like, I don't like expressing negative opinions, like, I'm trying to really enjoy things that aren't necessarily normally my cup of tea, but that's just the truth. It's not to say that the album is bad, like, there were songs that I did really enjoy. Like, I actually think I could see myself returning to, like, song 2, like, But Not Kiss, you know?
Mhm.
And, like, there were moments that were really cool and cheeky and fun, and especially the lyricism or, like, was fun on some tracks. Um, but there was just a lot of infuriating earworms for me, between those moments of bliss. Um, and yeah, I just felt like a lot of the songs just have this repeating trope of kind of dragging out too long, and not really feeling not really like, I know it's like maybe it's like a cliche way to do it, but instead of just saying time, like you could get more like expressive, like get louder or get more dynamic or play with that idea a little bit more. Maybe that would make it more interesting to me. But I'm not even saying that's like necessarily the best way to go about it. That's just what my thought. But yeah, it also like it probably just isn't like really my thing. But it's cute. There are a lot of cute moments, and I wouldn't look at somebody funny if they like this. It's not like Imagine Dragons or something. It's just not really my cup of tea. I would enjoy it at a jazz bar, you know?
That's fair, yeah. Um, yeah. Overall, I actually did like the jazz and jazz offshoot influence on this album.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how often I will revisit this album, to be honest, as well. Uh But I would say I still enjoyed it. I think it's definitely, I appreciate the vision that Faye Webster was going for,
Oh yeah.
and, it definitely has, like, a cohesive theme to it. The album cover is beautiful with, like, Faye in this white shirt looking at this blue dress, and she's behind, like, a wall or she's in front of a wall of blue dresses. Um, I think the songwriting, has always been Faye's, like, strong suit, and, it's still good here, um, at least in terms of, like, her groundedness and her, like, candidness about how she writes lyrics.
Mm.
But yeah, I agree, sometimes maybe a bit too repetitive for me. Um, it's very low key, I could see it, you're just, like, having a chill dinner with friends, you put it on or,
Yeah.
like, you're
It'd be
having
a
a
good
nice
vinyl record, probably.
Yeah, you just throw it on, like, when your friends are over and you're chilling on the patio, and you're, like, having, like, a meal on the patio, and it's like
Mm,
springtime or like summertime.
yeah.
So overall, enjoyed it. Faye Webster, Underdressed at the Symphony. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you
No, no, no. As always, I'm Astrid.
I'm Alex.
See ya.
Later, skater.